let's look today at one of the things that in relationships always somehow have an impasse, and is that feeling that you feel helpless, powerless, and trapped because the other cannot fulfill your needs. So how you set up that helplessness belief system in order to grow, because we have to remember that you're not in a relationship to be happy. You are there really to stimulate through a mirror effect your growth. So one of the growth that we all have to go through is that sense of helplessness and powerlessness. So how it works? The first thing you do is you unconsciously choose somebody that cannot fulfill your need. For example, you partner up with, you buy a pear tree and you imagine that the pear tree is gonna give you apples. Oh, I am in a relationship, so I am going to be happy, I am going to be acknowledged, I am going to be given satisfaction. All those external point of view are not going to be fulfilled. So unconsciously you meet the perfect one that address the part of you or the invented need for you not to be fulfilled. So let's say if you want affection, then you are attracted to someone who is more cool, more detached, and then you say, oh, I can conquer that, and if I am affectionate to him or her, then I can get back what I need. Well, we all know that that is not going to work. So, and that works with the sense of worth, with the sense of I am good, with the very bottom belief systems that humanity carries through the times. So that's the first thing that you do in order to set yourself up to be helpless. The other one is you start, the second part is you start asking the person to give you what you need. I need affection. You are not that affectionate to me. I need attention. You don't pay attention to me. You pay more attention to your work. I need company. You are you want to be alone a lot, and so on and so forth. So you feel deprived. You feel that your needs are not being met, and mostly they are emotional needs, things that are fundamental for you to, or you imagine that they are fundamental for you to be well, to be happy. So of course, in this second impasse, you start feeling angry. You start feeling really start feeling the pressure of and the frustration of not being successfully engaged with the other person and not being satisfied. And this is a key word, the satisfaction. So the third aspect is you need to realize that the need that you are inventing is fundamentally, under that need is pleasure. Is pleasure. And in here you have an opportunity to get out of the helplessness. When you ask yourself, how do I give myself pleasure? Especially, what is my value or my belief system, and others seeing me having pleasure, especially the sensory pleasure, the sexual pleasure, the body pleasure, that you're being seen in certain state of bliss and certain state of surrender, Because when you have that kind of pleasure, let's say sexual orgasm, you are in a state of relaxation and easiness in front of your own pleasure. But if you have mind noise around that pleasure, that sensory pleasure, you are going to prefer to be stuck in the demand, give me, give me, give me, instead of seeing that, number one, the need that you are inventing is hiding something much more personal and much more powerful that really nobody can give you. And that is the moment when you are ready to jump into my biggest pleasure. What is my biggest pleasure? And you start finding, if you are, let's say, thinking poor of me, self-worth, less self-worth, you start seeing that, oh, my biggest pleasure is to empower me, is to value me, and so on and so forth. So the relationship between your hurt, that little hurt inside that you have been mirrored by the other, when you decide that only me can give it, only me can supply to me that pleasure. And from pleasure, then you can start relaxing it more and give it the path of the steps that it needs to go into bliss. And is the acceptance then of the blissful state where you accept the divine attribute of love. Because pleasure and love are very much in relationship. After all, you are going to demand that to the ones that you are in relationship with. So review how you set yourself up. That it could be in a relationship, but also it can be socially. And anything that you feel helpless, trapped, is a hidden power, a hidden self-responsibility that you may be a little bit shame, a little bit guilty to give it to yourself. So don't do that anymore. Just let it go of that sense of I cannot get the pleasure. You and your cells in the body are designed to have pleasure, to discharge, to emanate pleasure, joy, love. And by setting you up with the helplessness and the powerlessness and blaming other, you change that power into a field of pain, a field of limitation, and that causes suffering. So no more of that, and let's take this step towards a pleasurable, joyful life.